Alright, we're gonna watch episode 7 of Westworld. I'm finally more than halfway through the season. I feel like I'm so behind. And it occurred to me a second ago when I was like putting stuff on the computer that I keep saying, we don't know this, whatever. You guys have already seen it, so you know. So when I say stuff, you're probably like, this girl's an idiot. How can you not know what happened? Yeah, let's watch episode 7. I just did episode 6. I will link that up here if you haven't seen that one yet. A bunch of stuff happened. Maeve is about to go ham on everything, and I am so ready for it. We didn't see Dolores in the last episode. I just realized that. She's still on a train going somewhere. Some stuff happened. Oh, there were unregistered hosts in the park that Ford has been keeping up. Teresa is a spy. The chick that was researching or finding everything, she pretty much got killed. I'm gonna say it's safe to say she's dead. We didn't see her die, but she's probably dead. Teresa broke up with Bernard because Ford knew about it. That's all I can think of right now. Okay, so that's it. That's all I can think of right now. Let's see.
Hey. You're
okay,
perfect.
Maybe he's not a host.
You're gonna beat this.
I thought for sure he was a...
Listen.
Charlie? Charlie? I guess you wanted to see what was at the end of all of this.
And yet, here you are. Your friend didn't make it this far. Maybe you got more an appetite for this than you think.
You doing okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Let me remind you of something. This place, the people who work here, are nothing. Our interest in this place is entirely in the intellectual property, the code. I'm gonna give you another chance to get a handle on this particular bitch of a situation, but the gods, they require a blood sacrifice. We need to demonstrate just how dangerous Ford's creations can be.
I'm gonna get my family out of the desert. We're gonna go somewhere cold. Someday.
Someday.
What is it you're looking for?
Lawrence is right. You could have stayed in Pariah or gone back, but you're here. With me.
Back home, there's a woman, Juliet, and her father owns the company where I work. And when I get home, we're getting married. How can I go back to pretending when I know what this feels like?
And they got him.
I'm sorry to report that Miss Cullen and her team uncovered some worrisome findings.
In the course of our code review, we found something quite disturbing. Retention of data that hadn't been wiped overloaded their decision-making.
They don't think he's gonna
apparatus,
see right
eventually
through
causing
that.
the system
You want us to lobotomize them, is what you're saying.
No, not you, Mr. Lowe. After all, this was your responsibility. Assuming that you have nothing to share with us in terms of your culpability.
No.
Then you're fired.
That's bullshit. Wow.
Oh, that feels so unreal now. I used to think this place was all about pandering to your baser instincts. Now I understand. It doesn't cater to your lowest self, it reveals your deepest self.
The white stuff's like oozing out of him.
Five yells, motherfuckers.
Cowboys and Indians scenario. Isn't that her picture? This is all still in the narrative then.
You've been topside for less than 24 hours. You keep coming down this often, people are going to notice.
Where's Clem?
I don't know. I haven't seen her. Why?
Find her.
Paris?
If I saw through it, I can only imagine what Ford was thinking.
Exactly.
There are glaringly obvious markers of human intervention in the code. If your programmers were any good, they'd be working for me. And I know you and your team were responsible for the stray in its satellite transmission.
I'm getting out of here. You two are going to help me.
Every part of this building, including the skin on your back, is made to keep you here.
At first, I thought you and the others were gods. Then I realized you're just men. And I know men. You think I'm scared of death? I've done it 1,000,000 times. I'm fucking great at it. How many times have you died? Because if you don't help me, I'll kill you.
I love her. She just became my favorite character. Like, she is my favorite character now.
Do you really think the corporation's interest here, a tourist playing cowboy?
We're gonna use all of it for government stuff. I said this like 4 episodes
Boy, I
ago.
think I understand the hosts. It's the human beings who confuse me. That's because we use hosts to do most of the surveys.
What is his purpose in
programmed to
showing
ignore this
her all
place.
this?
They literally couldn't see it if they were staring right at it.
What's behind this door?
That wasn't there
What
a
door?
second ago. Shut the I told you! I fucking called it! I fucking called it! I fucking called it like, what? 2, 3?
Have you seen these?
It's him, isn't it? It's so a picture of him.
What is this, Bryan?
I fucking
It
called
doesn't
it!
look like anything to me.
They cannot see the things that will happen.
It doesn't look like anything to me.
I've spared them that.
I told you. I told you. I called it.
I don't understand.
You're a fucking monster.
I was a father. My poor boy.
That's enough, Bernard. Doesn't get yourself worked up.
This is so fucked up.
He brought me here to show me this.
No, he brought you here because I asked him to. The board will do nothing. Our arrangement is too valuable to them. They test me every now and then. I think they enjoy the sport of it. This time they sent you. In order to restore things, the situation demands a blood sacrifice. See, Arnold and I designed every part of this place. Like I said, I built all of this. I'm afraid our guest has grown weary. Perhaps you can help her, Bernard.
Bernard. No. No, please.
Should be getting back, Bernard. We have a great deal of work to do on the new storylines.
I just learned her name like this episode. Wow. I called it like episode 3 I called it. Shut up. I fucking called it. That backstory, oh, he has a backstory. Why would they have him contacting an ex-wife and the memory of a dead kid? That doesn't make any sense. I called it. I called it. I said this in a different Game of Thrones things, but I'm like the worst person to have around when they are right because I love gloating, so I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, but I have to right now because I called it. I called it episode 3. I don't have anything else to say. That's it. That's it. The backstory with his kid. Every time Ford brought it up, he like backed off of whatever situation or whatever topic they were talking about. He kind of did this like thing where he looked down, blinked, looked down, and took a step back, and always backed off. That was his trigger to go away. The thing they said when him and Teresa were in bed together, and she said, the hosts are always talking. He's like, that's their form of practicing. And she's like, are you practicing right now? Oh, and then Elsie, that's her name, the other girl, saying that the host's backstory not only isn't just for them to ground them, but it's to draw us in. I was like, it'd be so fucking awesome if it was a freaking mind game they're playing with us. I'm gonna link that up here. Like, I fucking called it. I knew it was a mind fuck. I fucking knew it. Did he kill Arnold? No, Ford just said he wasn't around in those days, so I guess not. But, and I kind of think Arnold is still alive. Like, something fishy is going on with that whole thing. Because, you know, he's way too much a part of this story for him to just be dead. Like, something's going on with that. But, fuck. I called it. I called it. I called it. I called it. I know. It's a horrible, horrible trait. I'm working on it. I'm trying to not, like, be so happy about being right. But it's fun. The opening scene was Bernard reading that story to his kid. And I said it. I was like, oh, maybe he's not. I fucking called it. The opening scene, like, Hector and Bernard are sitting there, and Elsie is, he asks about Elsie, and the person said she started her lead today. Did Teresa have her killed? Well, shit, now fucking Ford may have had her killed. I thought it was Teresa because she's the one that was stealing all the stuff. Maybe she had her, like, knocked out and killed or, like, tied up somewhere, but shit, maybe Bernard did it. Lawrence talking to William, he said his friend didn't make it, meaning his brother-in-law didn't make it, but maybe you have more of an appetite for this than you think. He's the man in black. He has a definite appetite for it, and he's good at it in the future. I'm gonna call that too, damn it. He is the man in black. Them setting up for, like, anyone looking at that can tell that was like, what? That was so obvious. Like, she said God requires a blood sacrifice. to Teresa, and Ford said that to the end. So does he just have cameras everywhere? Like, oh my god, he's crazy. He is crazy. There's one scene I really liked. When Maeve was waking up at the beginning of her day, it's a theme park, right? So things have to start or reset at a certain time, I'm thinking. So the scene where she wakes up, the music starts playing in the background, and they actually show the piano keys playing, but it starts off like, it sounds like it's starting up. I don't know why that little detail like caught me, but I love that. Like, you can tell it's like the beginning of their day, everything's starting up again, wake up. I don't know, like that little detail was like, I love like the little things in this show. Game of Thrones does that too. HBO just knows how to add little things in like that. Clementine gave Maeve her backstory. She has family in the desert that she's saving up money. She sends money to them, and she's saving up money so they can get it out of the desert and go somewhere cold. I love her backstory. And then she says, someday. That's the thing that set Dolores off when Teddy said, like, that someday thing is what keeps them, like, doing what they're doing in this loop of theirs, because that someday they'll be able to do something else. Dolores, when she's sitting there talking to William, she's beginning to question her world, basically. She's beginning to question what's going on. And then William tells her about his fiance or whatever, and they get it on. We knew it was going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. That's what they sent her to him for. They sent her to him to get him in this world so he would invest in it. Like, the brother-in-law said that in episode 4, I think. That firing scene with Bernard now it's even funnier now, knowing now that he's a host and he's not even human and they're firing him. Like, what? Like, you can't set him up. Of course. That's so funny. William said that the park doesn't cater or pander to your lowest self. It shows you your deepest self. I feel like that's going to come up again. We had the cowboys and Indian scenes with the shootout and the train and everything. Then they are riding off and they see the place where she drew in her picture, so they decide to stop there. They're still, like, even though it feels like they're kind of just moseying about, this whole thing is so contrived. Like, you know that they're still on whatever story that she has. Clementine getting decommissioned and Maeve standing there watching was very sad. She cried. She shed some tears because that's her friend. Like, she knows this whole thing is fake, but that realization that all of this is fake has to be like, what the fuck, you know? She is going to kill everybody. I'm so excited. And like, she is just my favorite character right now. Like, I'm just so excited to see her go ham. Bernard talking to Teresa, he said 4 years ago Arnold built this code and they have no idea how it works still. God, how smart was he? And there is a connection between memory and improv, and that allows them to evolve and change, and they have to like reset them, but it keeps happening and they don't know how it's happening. They're gonna wake up, they're gonna kill everything. Oh, they're so taking over the park. I really thought I think it was episode 2, I said that I thought either, or maybe it was episode 1, I can't remember, where I said either I thought that they were all going to get out and go into the real world and that's where this is going, but that would be very, very big, or they're going to take over the park. They are taking over the park. They keep saying this thing about them being able to evolve and change and them not being able to control that and having to roll them back or decommission them. Like, they're waking up. We know that from Abernathy. We know that from Dolores and her saying these violent ends, delights have violent ends. We know, like, they are waking up and shit's about to go down. Just an interesting thing. The guy said, what's his name? Sylvester? I can't remember. Said that everything is designed to keep them in the park, including like even their skin. So their skin is even coded to like stay in there. So which means they can't get out. So they have to stay in this park then, and they're designed to stay there. Bernard, okay, now this line is even eerier because Bernard said the more he understands, the more he understands the host more. It's just the human beings that confuses him. Of course he'd understand the host more. Of course he would have some connection to Dolores because he's a host too. This is awesome. I'm assuming at some point he had to realize he was a host before, and Ford just kind of like wiped his memory. So is he gonna start waking up like Dolores did, or not Dolores, like Maeve? Like eventually he's gonna start having memories of everything. This is really good. I wish I had time to watch the next episode right now, but I don't. But that was good. I called it, dude. I so called it. Called it. I can't remember who it was. They're like, that would make no sense for him to have a backstory of a kid dying and calling his ex-wife. And I'm like, so? Y'all my peeps though. Okay, I have to go. That's all. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday, hopefully with Game of Thrones. If not, probably Tuesday for sure. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate. Have a great one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.